What's going on, basketball fans? Welcome to NBA Talk. In the last episode of NBA Talk, we went over who are going to be the best teams in the NBA next season. So in this episode, the season 2016-17 NBA season preview, we are going to talk about the top 5 worst teams in the NBA for the 2016-17 NBA season. So, without any further ado, let's get right into this. So starting off at number 1, in my opinion, I feel the worst team in the NBA is going to be the Brooklyn Nets. You know, honestly, if you watch my off-season review, I really did not understand anything Brooklyn did. You know, Brooklyn really didn't do anything to improve their team or to make their team better. All they did was just add a bunch of players together. And yeah, I just feel that they're going to be worse than they were last year. I just feel that, you know, they took a lot of steps backwards and they really need to just start fresh and just rebuild from getting a lot more younger talent instead of just going for guys who, you know, really won't help you to move this franchise forward. So overall, I feel that Brooklyn is just going to be, you know, really bad next season, and that's why I predict them to be the worst team in the NBA. Moving on to the second worst team in the NBA, and it is none other than the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, yes, for once, the Sixers are not dead last in the NBA. However, I believe that the Sixers are still not going to be, you know, a contender or going to be a really big threat to anybody right now. You know, this is an extremely young team, a young team with a lot of promise, but they're still young, which means that they still have a lot to prove. You know, they, like Ben Simmons, he still has a lot. He needs to still develop, and he still needs to get better. Joel Embiid, we don't know about him. We also don't know about the Nerlens Noel and Jahlil Okafor situation. Overall, though, from this franchise is on the rise, and I feel that they are going to be noticeably better than last year, but they're still not going to be that good that they're going to be a major threat in the league, which is why I feel they're going to be the second worst team in the league next season. Moving on to the third worst team in the NBA, and it is going to be the Los Angeles Lakers. Now, the Lakers, you know, are very similar to Philadelphia, where they have a very young team, and they really need time to develop. Like now that they lost Kobe, they really just lost a lot of what made them the Lakers. You know, it's now basically a completely new era for Los Angeles. So now, it's going to be very different to see D'Angelo Russell, Brandon Ingram, and Julius Randle to step up and to try to lead this Lakers team. You know, I feel that the Lakers are going to be better, but because now that D'Angelo Russell and Julius Randle have had time to develop, I feel that they're going to be better than last year, but I don't think they're going to improve that dramatically. I still feel that, just like Philadelphia, these guys need time to develop and to, you know, blossom into the superstars they're going to become in the future. So that's why I have the Lakers being the third worst team in the NBA. Moving on to the fourth worst team in the NBA. This is a team where again, just like Brooklyn, I was very confused about what they were going to do. Like, what were they doing during the offseason? You know, and it is none other than the Orlando Magic. I mentioned this in my offseason review. I do not understand what Orlando's trying to do here. You traded a major asset in Victor Oladipo to get a bunch of big men in Serge Ibaka, Bismack Biyombo, and other players of that sort. Like, I don't see Orlando taking steps forward. I just feel that they took steps back just because they didn't really have a major focus in the offseason. They didn't have a plan to improve the team. And I feel that it's going to really hurt them, and that's why I feel they're going to be the fourth worst team in the league, just because they didn't do anything to improve their roster, and I just don't know how this team is going to really gel together. So which is why I feel the Orlando Magic are going to be the fourth worst team in the NBA. Now moving on to the fifth worst team in the NBA, and it is going to be the Phoenix Suns. Now, the Suns were pretty bad last year. They started off well, but then they eventually just started to decline. And, they got to a point where they just couldn't save themselves. So clearly, the Suns really need to rebuild. And that's really what the stage they're at right now. They just need to rebuild and to work this team up. They have a lot of talent on this team, like Eric Bledsoe, Brandon Knight, Devin Booker. Like, these guys are really good players. And, Phoenix just needs to get more pieces and to start to build this team up from the ground up. And, I just feel like with Devin Booker having a year under his belt, this team is going to be better than last year. So, but they still need to rebuild, which is why I feel they're going to be one of the worst teams in the NBA. So that is my list for the top 5 worst teams for the upcoming NBA season. We have at last place the Brooklyn Nets, above them the 76ers, above them the Los Angeles Lakers, then Orlando Magic, and then finally the Phoenix Suns. Those are the 5 teams that are going to be rounding up the rear in the next upcoming NBA season. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode of NBA Talk. Leave this episode a like if you enjoyed it, and let me know in the comment section down below, who do you think is going to be the worst teams in the NBA? Do you think it's going to be the Lakers? Do you think it's going to be other teams like the Bucks? Do you think the Bucks are going to do bad? Do you think the Pelicans are going to do bad? Let me know. Who do you think is going to be the worst teams in the NBA? Anyways, guys, I hope you guys enjoyed the episode. Subscribe to this channel. We're still continuing on with the NBA season preview, and we have more videos to come. We're still just answering a lot of questions, and hopefully we'll get more into depth with how things are going to be going. And I hope you guys enjoyed. I'll thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see